If you see me looking like this, I'm about to get real thirsty. Because I've been on that mower all dang long and it's hot out here. Howdy, Practical Patriots and Practical Preppers. Yachting, Roll South, Texas, Giant Practical Nurse. Before I get any grungier, folks, I've been out here working on my place all day and it is really hot. It's about 90-something degrees out here, but still a beauty. I'm gonna hang around in the shade, get some nice cold water out here. Mowing, doing some weed eating out here. It's a beautiful day for it, by my standards. Some of y'all may think, oh no, I'm not hanging around that heat, but out here in Central Texas, it is what it is. Excuse me. Remembering all of our friends and family that we have lost and all of our comrades on this Memorial Day. Prost. Cheers. Folks, talk about reloading, okay? Something I want to talk to y'all about, because I get hit up with this question a lot no matter where I go. I have folks that ask me, you know, how much do I reload? What calibers do I reload? And a few other things. Well, okay, for starters, a little presumptuous on their part, folks, because honest to God, I don't reload. Now, it's not that I'm not reload curious, okay, because I ask a lot of my friends like Eric and Rick and all you other guys on YouTube that I've talked to. Some of y'all are wonderful, y'all are really some awesome folks, and thank you so much for some of your wonderful ideas. But right now, I just don't reload, and I'm going to explain to you why. And this is not a pro-con thing, folks. It's just information, and I want to know what you think. I wish I had one of my friends here who reloads, because it really, having sat there with him and reloading some ammunition, I thought it was interesting. But when I start asking questions about it, you know, because again, reload curious, something I might want to get into, he gave me some information that I want to pass on to y'all, okay? Again, folks, this is not a pro-con thing, it's just information, okay? For starters, when I asked him about reloading, the first thing, of course, I had to ask him was, you know, what's this going to cost for me to get started up in this? So cost is always very important to me because I'm always on a budget. For starters, he said, Johnny, you will not start seeing a return on any ammunition until you've blown through about 3 cases of ammunition. Now, folks, to me, a case is about 1,000 rounds. Depending on whether you're a 5.56 shooter or 7.60 by 39 or whatever the case may be, that, folks, is about $1,000, just kind of hitting it in the ballpark, you know, because one thing that he told me, he says, I know you're into budgeting and everything, but this is something you cannot scrimp on. You can save some pennies here and there, but when it comes to your reloading equipment and what it is you're using, don't sit there and worry about pennies when your life may depend on it, okay? For many reasons, and we'll kind of get into that here in a little bit. But again, the cost was a big factor, about $1,000, folks. He told me about 3 cases of ammunition, probably a little more. I want to say he said he narrowed it down to about 1,400, what was it? You know, we were talking about $1,400 or so he has invested in just one caliber, because apparently, something else you need to know, every caliber requires this thing called a different die, okay? Woof. A lot of information there, folks, but that's just for one. Your initial startup, one die, folks, because those of us who are 5.56, 9mm, 40 cal, 45, it requires a different die for doing all those reloads. The other thing that we were talking about was availability. Now, y'all remember, how many of us remember the last ammo scare during the Obama administration, where everyone was just buying everything? He said powder, primers, and bullets were really hard to come by. And I mean, I was just talking about trying to find my own bullets. He's saying finding powder and everything was really difficult. So this is, again, something that you would have to stock up on. Also, we were talking about, he said, you know, Johnny, not all brass that you pick up on the ground or whatever is really good to be reloading. And I wanted to get into more of that information, but he started listing a few, and I said, okay, well, just stop. I'm going to leave it with that information that not all brass is really good, you know, to reload. And he also talked about steel and how there's different theories on that. Yes, you can reload steel. However, you may be, you know, tearing up your dies a little bit more. There's some kind of like I want to say metallurgy issues that you have to deal with. Some of the ammunition, folks, as a veteran when I was in the Army, that we had picked up, honest to gosh, it looked like some 3-year-old sat in a cave with these little micro tools and just kind of hodgepodge stuff together, and you'd pick them up. Whoa, that's a bad one. Oh, that's a bad one. So, you know, I wasn't you know, I'm mostly a 7.62 by 39 and a 5.45 by 39 shooter. I do shoot 5.56, but again, there we lied that part of it. Space, he said. You definitely need a dedicated, quiet place to do this. And I looked at him and said, in my house? Dedicated, quiet? No, I think if there's a way of saying Hacienda de la Chaos, that would describe my house to a T. No, you know, he said, Johnny, you would need a safe place to store your powders, your primers, you know, like anything else that's kind of flammable, whatever, you need a safe place to put it. All right, so, I mean, more and more he was talking about this, the more and more I was kind of sinking about doing it. Even though, like I said, folks, still very, you know, interested in it. What are my options here? He also said, don't forget, Johnny, how many friends that you know that have gone to the range and have had a squib load. And if you don't know what a squib load, folks, is, basically it's something happened wrong in the whole cartridge to where either the primer didn't ignite right, the powder didn't ignite, there wasn't enough powder, something happened to where the bullet did not exit all the way out of the barrel, and you got basically a bullet still jammed in that barrel when the next one's ready to fire. And those of us who've experienced that, we know what happens when you have a squib load and you squeeze another round. Boom, okay? A lot of things can go wrong. So what are my alternatives to that? Well, not being a person that has $1,000 readily available sitting around to invest in my initial setup for reloading, I just continue to buy it box by box, folks. Buying it cheap, stacking it deep. And how many of y'all do that also? You know, again, folks, this is not a pros con thing. This is just information. I wish he was sitting here to explain his point of view, but he could get in a lot more detail, but that was it, folks. When it comes to reloading, it seems to be an issue about cost. You need about $1,000 or so, I mean, to include your powders, your primers, you know, your bullets, your initial equipment to do it with. You know, you need availability. It's got to be available. Like anything else, folks, when this stuff got rare, so did the powder and the primers and everything. You know, space, you need the space to do it. And you have to be cautious about doing it. Now, the cool thing about making your own ammunition is you have custom-made ammo. You know, you find out, basically, I love to watch Coda Boy 32 because I like to watch him how he tests his ammo from long-distance shooting and whatnot, his groupings and whatnot. I think that's awesome, you know. As a matter of fact, I can tell you this. The snipers that they use in the military, they have a specific rifle. Remember what we say about rifle, y'all. There's many like it, but yours is unique. It's yours, okay? In a nutshell. They basically, for each one of those rifles, folks, okay, they will set up, if you did not know this, they will set up the cartridge for a specific rifle. It's really interesting how they do this. It's really awesome. Again, I think reloading looks like something great to do on a rainy day when you've got some quiet downtime, it's snowing outside or something like that. It's also great if you're a prepper because if you have everything you need, you got your own bullet manufacturing factory right there, you know, in a pocket kit. So I think it's great. But again, for right now, folks, me buying it cheap and stacking it deep. Tell me what y'all think. What are y'all's questions, comments? Leave them below. Let me know what's going on up there with y'all, okay? Until I see y'all again, I'm Johnny Practical Nurse. Sorry y'all haven't seen me. It's been kind of a busy, hectic, kind of last couple of months. But again, let y'all know, I still got one more class to go and then I'm done, okay? Until I see y'all again, I'm Johnny the Practical Nurse out here. Many blessings to y'all. Time for me to drink a little more water and get back on that mower. Bless y'all. Remember our fallen folks that have paid the ultimate price for our freedoms that we enjoy every day. I'm Johnny the Practical Nurse out here.